We're beginning the Midah Havav. Ki chafetz chesed hu. The pasuk that we're working on, I just want to remind you, is the pasuk in Micha. Micha reiterates the Yud Gimel Midos, and he says, Mikel kamocha, nosei avon, over al pesha, l'sheris nachlasai. We learned all those biyum. Lehechazik la'ad apoy, last week. Ki chafetz chesed hu, and why? This is a turning point in this pasuk. Whole sefer written on a pasuk. What the turning point in the pasuk is, Ki chafetz chesed hu. Ki chafetz chesed hu. So we'll stop there. So what's the translation? Ki chafetz chesed hu. Why does he do all this?
He desires
Chesed. Desires
kindness.
To do kindness. Ki chafetz chesed hu. Nice guy. Nice Hashem. Chafetz chesed hu. That's the way I understand it. In other words, why doesn't he lose his temper? Why is he patient? Why does he look at our good parts? Why does all of the different things that we learned and we're meant to emulate is because he loves, he chafetz chesed, like a chafetz chaim. Chafetz chaim loves life, chafetz chesed loves chesed. So since Hashem loves chesed, chafetz chesed hu, so therefore he works in these midos. Therefore the limud would be the chafetz chesed hu, that we should also be chafetz chesed. Man boy chayim, man boy chesed. We're looking to do chesed. I believe that, just as a hakdama, that the Talmud Torah is taking a different translation of this. And he's not learning ki chafetz chesed hu means that because he wants to do chesed, but ki chafetz chesed hu because he wants us to do chesed. He's a chafetz in chesed because he seeks out our chesed. In other words, why is Hashem good to us, patient with us? Because he's a chafetz chesed, not his chesed, but our chesed. Meaning, I'm not talking about the part where we're meant to emulate Hashem. Hashem's like in the theological aspect of this ki chafetz chesed hu means that he's looking for chesed. I mean to say, just as a simple thing, that if I'm considering being friends with you or marrying you or whatever, like what I'm looking for is, there's like, well, what are you looking for? Well, has to be, has to look like this and act like that, and a worker, a learner, like all kinds of different things that people put on their resume. But I'm a chafetz chesed. A chafetz chesed means that what I'm really looking for is about chesed. That's what Hashem says. What I'm really looking for is what I'm really chafetz, and chafetz is a very strong looking for. What I really want, Hashem says, is chesed. So that's different than any translation, I believe. The normal translation is why is he Ma'arich, is because he's chafetz chesed, because he likes to do chesed. Okay, I like to do chesed. Like I'm nice, I'm generous. I'll be nice to them, even though
he wants
they don't
it in his
deserve
world. He wants
chesed in the world. He wants chesed in the world. Why does he do good? Because either he wants chesed in the world or he wants to see chesed. This way we have to learn. But I just want to make that paradigm shift here between chafetz chesed, his chesed, our chesed. Uh-huh.
So then the midah of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which we're supposed to emulate, is that we are supposed to want chesed in the world.
We should want chesed in the person that we're working with or talking to.
Right.
Which means what? What does that even mean?
Mitzvah v'reid mitzvah. You want someone else to do something.
No, but don't fly away. Chafetz chesed hu meaning chafetz chesed hu, I want to see your good part. I want to see your chesed. Show me your chesed. Somebody's coming to me with a resume of qualities. I'm a genius. I've accomplished this. I've invented that. I've done this. I've done that. Let me see your chesed. Chafetz chesed. Let me see your chesed. What I want is your chesed. That's what I'm looking for, or that's it's more than that's what I'm looking for. That's what I want to see. So therefore, that's what I will see. Some people could be so ugly but they Bali Chesed, they have this Chesed. It's like by Esther, it says Chut Shel Chesed. She had a Chut Shel Chesed. There's a certain a Chesed Dikachain, that a person Hashem likes to. He's looking for that Chesed. He wants to see the Chesed. If it's there, he'll find it.
It's like Aaron, you make peace between you.
Find the good. So maybe. So this is what remains to be learned. But the important thing at this moment is Chavetz Chesed, who is. And I'm giving this introduction because if not, this whole parak doesn't work. The parak only works if we turn the Chavetz Chesed in from Hashem's having. He does it because he wants to do Chesed, or he does it because he wants there to be Chesed. So the details are to come. But this is what he means. Ki Chavetz Chesed haloi pirashnu bimkaimai. The Ramak, so I know a few lines. I've already explained in the correct place. Correct place is in the Pardes Rimonim Shar HaHechalos. In my deep Kabbalah Sefer, Hechalos is a Sefer about the workings of the Malachim in different worlds. There's millions of people, there's billions of Malachim, and new ones all the time. And everything that's going on in the Bria has a malach. I don't know too much about this. Everything I know I'm going to tell you in the next 30 seconds. Like the Chazal say that there's no such thing as a blade of grass that grows unless there's a malach standing on it saying Gadel. You grow. So malachim, they come and go. They have only one mission. So everything that's going on in the world, every piece of energy that's going on in the world are malachim, simply meaning shluchei Hashem. But the Ramak, in his kedusha, his gaonus, he told us all about the malachim, and it's in the Shar HaChalais. There's this heichal, there's that heichal, there's many more heichalos than you would imagine. By the way, there's things to make things work, how things work. Heichal Parnas is probably, if I recall, divided up into 40, 50 sections. Heichel Parnasa, just that. I mean, it's thousands of malachim, millions of malachim, just dealing with Parnasa, So what do you do? You farnaseinu, b'chein, b'chesed, b'rachamim, you farnaseinu b'chavod. So that's bim koimai. Okay. So, but here we're going to get the practical, the sikum, the Shulchan Aruch of all this. Pirashim bim koimai, sheyesh beheichel yadua, in one of those heichalos, in a known heichal, Kimash Malon, that there are heichalos with all of this that we don't even know about. Heichalos sheinam yadua. But the yesh beheichel yadua, malochim memunim lekabel v'milas chasadim she'adam oiseh ba'olam hazeh. Gewaldig. That there are certain malachim that collect the acts of chesed that Klal Yisrael does. This is not about the regular scharvonish thing. This is a different story. This is not to be confused with, okay, I bought tefillin, I did a chesed, I gave some tzedakah. That's different. That's a different thing. This is a different thing. There's malachim that keep Excel spreadsheets just on the amount of chesed that every individual does and the Jewish people do as a whole. Takes the chasadim. There's a special record-keeping mechanism in Shemayim, if I may. I'm sorry to bring this to our world, but is there Excel in heaven? But just to make it easier for us to understand, is that they take it, and there's a special record-keeping just for chasadim, and it's not just for the chasadim that are being done at this moment in history. What's going on at this moment is some kind of a schus for people, for Klal Yisrael, but it's in there. It's in there. It's locked in there forever. The chasadim. It's like you take the chasadim, put them into a safe, close the safe. It's in there. It can never go away. The chasadim that are gathered, or at least the information about the chasadim that are gathered, is for Israel.
It's like a photo album.
Yeah. Yep. I like Excel better, but okay. What is it? What do they do? This special malachim just for this. Special malachim just for this purpose. Bookkeepers. L'kabel gemilas chasadim she'adam oiseh ba'olam hazeh. Keep track of the charitable givings. Keep track of the charitable, like the internal revenue.
Why is it just
Very
Klal Yisrael?
internal.
Why is it just Klal Yisrael though?
Where do we say Klal Yisrael?
You said Klal Yisrael.
I said, and the world. Sha'adam oseh ba'olam hazeh.
Okay.
But, here's Klal Yisrael. Kasher midas hadin, what's the purpose? Kasher midas hadin mikatreges al Yisrael. Let's say, God forbid, there's a moment of din. There's a moment of din, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, okay, we built the Egel, moment of din. We built the Migdal, moment of din. We had Sinas Chinam, moment of din. So at that moment of din, scary times. It's very scary when there's a moment of din. Sometimes you can feel it, sometimes you can't feel it, but you can tell sometimes we're doing something very wrong. Something's wrong. It's a moment of din. So what happens in Shamayim? The Midas Hadin is Mikatreges al Yisrael. The Midas Hadin comes and says, what's with the Jews? They're not what they're meant to be. They're not what they were created for. You gave them free choice. They've chosen wrong. I speak. Come on, let's. So Kasher Midas, that's din. That makes sense. Din means it makes sense. Kasher Midas Hadin Mikatreges al Yisrael. Cut your losses, Hashem. Just making a balagan. Miyad. What happens in Shemaim, says the Ramak, is Oisam HaMalachim. This is what calls the buzz all the malachim in the record-keeping department of Chesed. All of a sudden, hear this. Mekatreges al Yisrael. Oisam Malachim Marim HaChesed Ahu. They come out. They run out with the Excel sheets. What do you mean? Look what they did. Look at the chesed that they did for the world. Look at the orphans that they adopted. Look at the charity that they gave. Look at the work that they did. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Malachim show this chesed to Hashem, the ultimate judge. HaKadosh Baruch Hu merachem al Yisrael, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu is merachem al Yisrael. This might be true with the world at large too. But what's the point for us? What's important for us is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu merachem al Yisrael. It's very possible. I'm just positing that if Hashem destroyed the world with a flood, it wasn't about the evil that they did, but it was about the lack of chesed that they did. Because if there would have been enough chesed in the world at that time, so then the malachim would have come and said, "Oh, you're destroying the world for it. It's chesed." So it's not, which is a significant point, because it's not that the chesed comes and weighs the scale, tips the scale the other way. It's that even after there's a din, we're talking about the midas hadin. So even after there's a din which says lost, right? You lost, sorry. So even then so the din is over. So if it's another mitzvah, so then that's already weighing in. That's already weighing in. The pshat is the din is over. Now the malachim come and they run with the information about what about the chesed. What, Hashem forgot about the chesed? No, I know about the chesed, but the chesed is a reason to evoke rachamim in the Shemayim. It's unbelievable. In other words, it's extra halachic. It's extra din. It's not part of the din. It can save us when all else goes bad. It's like an insurance policy, an emergency insurance policy. That if there's chesed at the bank, okay, like there's something here that makes me want to keep you alive. This is ki chafetz chesed hu. This midah is the midah of Hashem wanting the chesed. He wants the chesed. Come, show me the chesed. If you could show me the chesed, then I won't go with this din. But it's going to become very important. I want to reiterate. It's not that the chesed is changing the din. The din is the din. And that's a dangerous place to be. It's a scary place to be, under the gun of din. But nevertheless, he's chafetz chesed. Let me look at let me look in spite of the din. Let me look at the chesed. Let me just a little further, if you don't mind. Mipnei, why is this? Shehu chafetz bechesed. Because he's chafetz bechesed. V'im heyos. And this is my point. Im heyoy shehem chayavim. So we have to learn it like a lot. I'm not. Im heyoy shehem chayavim. Even though you're already chayiv, the verdict is out. You're chayiv, right? Im heim goimlim chesed zeh lozeh. If there's a component of chesed zeh lozeh in this world, merachim aleihem. It might even be that when we say the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed because of sinas chinam, maybe what that means is, I'm saying a radical chiddush, maybe what it means is it's not that the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed because of an oynish of sinas chinam. Could be that the oynish, there was a midas hadin that the Beis Hamikdash Ba'yasheni was meant to be destroyed, but the chesed would have saved them. But now that if you're being noeg in sinas chinam, there's such division between people, so it's not so you have nothing to save you. Hence comes the Chorban Beis Hamikdash, which is more mashma, by the way, in the Gemara. Even though the Gemara does say that sinas chinam shkula ki gilei rayis avodah zarah shvichas damim, it's true that the lack of chesed could cause the Chorban Beis Hamikdash like avodah zarah, but could be that the mechanism is different. The mechanism is because the Gemara says that they're doing Torah, they're doing mitzvahs, they're shomer, they're doing everything right. Elabai, they're sinas chinam. So what it means is that they're doing, but they're not doing. The kavanah is not there. Everything, there's all kinds of Gemaras about what they were doing wrong. But at the end, they were not being gomel chesed. So as we say in Rosh Hashanah, biyaboy lefanecha badid. We can't rely on did itself. Let's just start to let the wheels turn about what this means in our relationships. The first obvious message is, well, obviously we should do chesed, otherwise the world's going to come to an end. That's the first message. But that's not what Rav Moshe Cordovero is writing a book about, that we should do chesed, not chesed book. What he's writing a book about is that just like HaKadosh Baruch Hu is chafetz chesed, so we have to be chafetz chesed. A much deeper idea. It's much deeper than, well, do chesed so that we won't get to doomsday here. It's a much deeper idea. That is that the chesed, it's just like Hashem looks for these malachim in the Heichal HaChesed, just like he shomer them in a special place that the Midas Hadin can't even get to, can't destroy. So it would mean to say, I'm just guessing ahead or jumping ahead, it means to say that if somebody really hurts me, let's say, if somebody really is destructive in my life, if somebody is really offensive in my life, but they did do me a chesed at one time. So it's not just about hakaras hatoiv. Don't forget the chesed. It's about chafetz chesed. It's about always never to forget that piece of chesed. That's also something. It's like I always think about the fact that Moshe Rabbeinu said, I just can't hit the Nile. I can't hit the Nile. They're throwing kids into the Nile. The Nile is horrible to us, but the Nile saved me. Like it's even a domain, if you will, even a domain, a piece of water. Moshe Rabbeinu was like the chafetz chesed, who is that? But we can't forget that the Nile saved me when I was a baby. We can't forget that either. So it's a difficult. Is somebody going to go look at some kind of good that the Nazis did at some point? If they ever did, I don't know. But can somebody like it's such a mental exercise to look at the people we hate and say, yeah, but. And now, what do we do with that? So HaKadosh Baruch Hu stops the destruction when it comes to that. So there's a certain record keeping of the chesed the good that a person has to do. It's not all bad. There is something here which shouldn't disappear. That's the yesod before we prove it. This is, by the way, if he tells us this is the way it is in Shavuot, it's the way it is in Shavuot. But we have to know why. How does he know that it was like this in Shavuot? Yeah. So you're.
Can we be medayik in the lashon of the Radak when he says that the milas chasadim is sha'adam oseh ba'olam hazeh, an individual is doing a chesed, and that is actually turning around to help Yisrael. So that the way that this collection mechanism seems to work is, even if an individual is doing a real chesed,
he'll save the whole world.
It's saving the world. It's like this, like Sodom, like when Avram Avinu was trying to find a tzaddik in Sodom, one, and that chesed maybe is enough.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a deal. I think it's the positive shot. The positive shot is that it's not that the whole world was doing chesed.
Right.
There's chesed there in that world. I'm seeing this really from a business point of view. What I'm seeing, that's why I keep bringing up the Excel. What I'm seeing from a business point of view, okay, it's not like, I'm about to destroy this company. It's losing money for me. Let's just liquidate the company. It's not doing anything. It's losing money. But is it accomplishing anything? is it accomplishing anything? Well, it's bringing me attention. It's getting me in the news. It's helping people. It's bringing goodwill. It's employing people. The numbers are in. The company's got to go, but then there's like a bigger look. That's I think what we're talking about. There's a bigger look. Okay, maybe it's worth losing with this for some other reason. So if HaKadosh Baruch Hu is looking at, by the way, I'm a poor businessman, so I don't know, but it seems to me that if HaKadosh Baruch Hu is looking at the world or at Klal Yisrael and saying, okay, the din is in. The din is in. Charbon. We're talking Charbon. We're talking Babel. You're talking probably serious, Gog Magog. It's all over it. But then there's this Chesed thing. Like it's a lost leader. It's something which permits the whole thing to continue in any case. So it's a new idea that the Ramak is introducing. Where does he get it from? Ukamay Shahaya Bisman HaChorban. Now here he's talking about the Chorban Bayis Rishon. Shnemar, as it was said to Gavriel, Bo el binois legalgal. Kihu sar hadin v'hagvura. V'nasan loy reshus lekabel koichos hadin binois legalgal mitachas lekruvim me'esham mizbeach. Everybody with me? So let me just it's just Tanakh. in Sefer Yechezkel. Just bring you up to date in this. Let's try to understand. I always enjoy whenever you come to these chapters in the art scroll, it always says in the footnote, this chapter is generally beyond human comprehension.
Generally.
What did he write it for? What's the year for beyond human comprehension? And it doesn't make any sense to me. Does it make sense to you? I mean, I understand that you can't be an idiot, but it's like on the side of a package of cigarettes. This is going to kill you. $21.95.
He's just out of editors that day.
Huh?
He's just out of editors.
There's more,
warning signs.
there's more beneath the surface that you just will never see.
Seder. It's true with the pasuk of Reishis Bar L'Kivas Hashavai V'Zaretz. The reason I'm saying is it's like
the art school Nevi'im.
People don't read it because of this, huh?
I said I have the art school Nevi'im. I've gone through it, but on many places it's very short on explanation.
Yeah, we don't talk about this.
Just trying to figure it out.
This is generally beyond human comprehension, as is the Merkava in chapter 1. So this is chapter 1 and chapter 10. Just skip. So we're going to learn it here. So just actually go back to chapter 9 at the end. Hashem says to Yechezkel is reporting about what's going on in the higher worlds. Hashem said to me, Avoin Beis Yisrael v'Yehuda Gadol b'moed ma'oid. The Averis of Beis Yisrael and Yehuda, the two, Gadol b'moed ma'oid v'timale ha'aretz damim. The earth, the land is full of bloodshed. Va'ir mala muteh. And there's muta means like layata din, right? It's full of corruption, like everything is being turned to the place where it doesn't belong. Corruption. Ki amru, and they say, Azav Hashem es haaretz ve'ein Hashem roa, and also everyone is saying that Hashem is no longer in Eretz Yisrael. It's all over, guys. Ve'ein Hashem roa, he doesn't see what's going on in Eretz Yisrael. So Eretz Yisrael, time of the Chorban Bayis Rishon, comes to a point where it's just impossible to uphold Yerushalayim at this point. And they don't even believe in me. They don't even believe that Eretz Yisrael is special and that there's Hashgacha Pratis. That's what they're saying. I want to point out historically that Yechezkel says exactly, Vayhi b'shana hashishis b'shisha b'chamisha l'chodesh. He says exactly when he had this nevuah. This is not so. This wasn't at the time of the Chorban. It was 5 years before the Chorban. So just keep that in mind. This wasn't the Chorban. So you don't like Hashem plans ahead. So we're talking about 5 years, long-term plan here. Says Hashem, "V'gam ani lo yisochos eini." I will have no more compassion. V'lo yechmol. My eye, gam ani lo yisochos eini. Just like you say, I don't see. I will not see. I will not look. V'lo yechmol. I will not have compassion. V'lo yechmol. Darkam b'rosham nasati. I have what a pasuk. I have placed their way upon my head. Like they're calling the shots. They're saying, I'm not looking, I won't look. They're saying it's not important. Okay, you're not important. Darkam b'rosham nasati. I have placed their way upon their head. Meaning, there's a midah connection. V'hinei ha'ish. Now here's where it gets to be fun. V'hinei, as I'm saying this, v'hinei ha'ish levush habadim asher hakeses b'masnav. This is where it becomes incomprehensible by us humans. V'hinei ha'ish levush habadim asher hakeses b'masnav. Meishiv davar lemar. Now we have the ish levush habadim, the man clothed in linen. Keses b'masnav, a slate on his lap. Meishiv davar lemar. He comes and he gives a teretz, he gives an answer. And he says, Asisi kechol asher tzivisani, I have done everything you have told me to do. Meaning what? I've put out the order to destroy Klal Yisrael. That's what he did. Who's this ish lavush habadim while we're here? So let's say Gavriel. The Gemara says it's Gavriel. Interesting thing with the ish lavush habadim, the man who wears linen.
Can I get the kind?
Kohen Gadol is ish lavush habadim. Vichnes eba vashal b'sarai, right? Everything's bad. Everything. So isn't it fascinating? Just to keep in mind here for a second that the Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippur dresses like the ish lavush habadim, the malach, which his job is to destroy Eretz Yisrael and Yerushalayim and the Beis Hamikdash.
Mazin ish.
Hafla. What?
Mazin ish.
Why is Gavriel called an ish?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's beyond human average.
It's not an Isha.
Hmm?
It's not an Isha.
And a malach. I mean, who says that? We see a lot of malachim called ishim. 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 What's he? Ishim.
It's the most,
Ishim.
Our parsh?
it's the most
Yeah,
developed.
there's Yaakov and the malach. Ish.
Yeah.
He was pagan ish.
It's the most developed of the Malach.
Most down to earth, so to speak. You know, most closest.
The Malachim that came down from Avinu.
Malachim are very important. People relegate Malachim to Kabbalah, which I guess is where it belongs. But it's a very important thing because it's under the hood. This is the way everything works is with Malachim. These are the busy bees of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now, the reason why we're permitted to just ignore them completely is because we can go straight to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and let him deal with the Malachim for sure. For sure. Yet, Yecheskel's telling us a story here. Yecheskel's telling us a story. He's giving us with a nevuah. He's able to see like what seems to be beyond what anybody else could see. But so he says, so the ish levush habadim, which Chazal identify as Gavriel, which we identify as the midah of Gevura, as opposed to Michael, right? But an important malach, a good malach.
What's the slate on his lap?
What's the slate on his lap? Do you remember, by the way, when we say on Yom Kippur and Tisha B'Av, we say the story of the Asar Arugei Malchus. So we say that Rabbi Shmuel Kohen Gadol was Allah l'Shamayim. He said, "Let me go to Shamayim. Give me 3 days. Go to Shamayim." I don't know what that means. He meditated on a very deep Kabbalistic level, and let me see if this Gzeira of Asar Arugei Malchus is Min HaShamayim or not. What's the option? In other words, is something we should fight against? Should we be? I'm guessing his question is: should we be Chashmonoyim and fight against this, or this is what it's meant to be? V'zehu, But he heard about the Asar Arugei Malchus. This was already in Klal Yisrael from Shmuel HaKatan, a generation earlier. Shmuel HaKatan said that he had a nevuah. That's why he was called Shmuel HaKatan, because he was like Shmuel HaGadol. He had a nevuah. The Gemara says in Sanhedrin 9 Zayin, I think, had a nevuah that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to kill 10 tzaddikim over a period of a long time. There's going to be 10 tzaddikim. Rabbi Kiva and his chaverim and Rabbi Shmuel starts with Rabbi Shmuel. There was not even a Roman problem at the time, and that's why this 5 years is very important. There wasn't even a Roman problem. The Romans weren't, at that time they were helping us. But Shmuel HaKatan, even while they were helping us, they were like, it was okay with the Romans. But they were helping us. They came to Eretz Yisrael, and they built stuff, and they had grants. They weren't against everything until about 5-6 years later, after the Nevuah. So Rabbi Shmuel Kohen Gadol came to Shemayim Kilu, and he said, "Is this a gzeira? Is this a din? Or is this a nasayon?" And upagashti would say upaga beish levush habadim. And he says, who did he meet on his way up? Rabbi Shmuel, the ish levush habadim. Now he was a Kohen Gadol. So he had his own set in the closet, of the badim. But when he came to Shemayim Kilu in his aliyah, so he met the Ish Levush Habadim. The Ish Levush Habadim says Gzerah Milfanai, and this is a kapara for the brothers that tried to kill Yosef. That's what's going on over here in Peseder. If it's a kapara, so who gave the report here? The same one from Yecheskel as the Ish Levush Habadim gave the report, just like he gave a report to Yecheskel. Yecheskel was able to see that he was the one that was handling the Chorban Bayis Rishon, and he was the one that was handling the Chorban Bayis Sheni. That's the way it comes out.
Why can't you call a sister and have them bake some cookies? I mean,
do some chesed, you mean?
Yeah.
Peseder. That's right. That's exactly what happened.
Is there a point where it's too late? I mean, like,
Asisi kasher kachol sherissivisan. So it sounds like it's too late. Done. But it wasn't done. Again, it wasn't done
as like it's supposed to be a warning to, no? I mean,
before Yecheskel, before Yecheskel, there's a whole bunch of Nevi'im that were warning. Yirmiyahu is a whole book about warning. I mean, they were warned. They were warned. I mean, Yirmiyahu was before this. Yecheskel was at the end, at the beginning of the Golos. Ve'eres, so Yecheskel reports as following. It follows, just let's get a little bit of understanding. Ve'ere v'hinei el rakia shel rosh hakruvim ke'evan sapir kamared mus kisei nira aleihem. I saw into the Shemayim. Yecheskel says, like, what a kaddish this. In El Rakia, I looked into the Rakia. Asher Roish Hakruvim, Ke'evan Sapir, Kemaretz Mus Kisei Nira Aleim. I saw the Kisei HaKavod. I saw the Kisei HaKavod. Vayomer Alaish Levush Habadim, and he said, he meaning Hashem, said to the Ish Levush Habadim, Vayomer bo el beinois la galgal. Okay, here's what I want you to do. Here's your mission. If well, actually, you have no decision. You're a malach. Here's what you need to do. Yomer el ish levush habadim. Vayomer boy el beinois la galgal. This is the pasuk that the Talmud Dvar is quoting. Bo el beinois la galgal. Come between the galgal. I'm reading the English. Al tachas la kruv, beneath the kruv. What's the kruv? Well, right, we know what the kruvim are. Right, the kruvim were those angelic figurines that stood atop the Aron Kodesh. That's Yerushalayim Shel Mato. Yerushalayim Shel Malo is the mirror image of that. So there was the kruvim and the mizbeach and the eish. That's all going on in Shemayim. Yecheskel tells us. So he told them, both beinois lagalgal. The galgal are looks like the Merkava. There were wheels. The oifanim v'chayis hakodesh. Oifanim are wheels. They're closer to, Rashi says it's on. Now there are the ofanim and the galgalim are the malachim that are closer to earth, like the ones that they're making everything move. The movers and the shakers. Galgalim and the Ofanei Kodesh. So that if by the way, like we daven this like every single day, about Fadim L'Chayson Kodesh Barash Kodesh B'Sasa, like just it's like Kedai, Mamish take 10-15 minutes today and just like try to figure out what it means. I spoke about it here a couple of times. It's not rocket science. What's going on? But there was basically like a discussion between the Malachim Shomala and the Malachim Shomata. So here he says, go beinois legalgal, go down el tachas lekruv umalei chafnecha gachalei eish, and he tells the Levush Abadim Gavriel, he says, take your hand, your palm of your hand, and fill it up with gachalei eish mi beinois lekruvim uzroik al ha'ir, and throw the hot coals on the city vayavai le'enoi. And he did. He appeared to him, to Hashem. Va'akruvim oimdim. Okay, a story. Va'akruvim oimdim miyamin lebayis b'vayah ish. The Chruvim were standing to the right of the bayis when the Levush Abadim came in, meaning he came in on the left. Va'anon maleas ha'chatzer apnimis, and the chatzer, the talking in the Beis Hamikdash Shamala, was full of Anon, a cloud, which represents the Shekhinah always. Vayaram kvod Hashem mi'al hakruv al miftan habayis, vayimolei habayis es Anon, ve'achatzer moles noiga kvod Hashem, full with kvod Hashem. It's a strange way to make a destruction, right? It's full of kvod Hashem. The kol kanfei hakruvim, the fluttering, the sound of the fluttering of the wings of the kruvim, nishma ad hachatzer achitzoyna. It can hear even outside. Kikol kel shadai b'dabrei.
They were protesting?
Vayihi b'tzavoisai, it's beyond human comprehension. Vayihi b'tzavoisai is a ish levush habadim lemor. Now comes the tzivui. Let's take out of it what we can take out of it. Now comes the tzivui b'tzavoisai. Hashem gives the command to the ish levush habadim lemor, and this is what he says. Kach eish mi beinois la galgal mi beinois la kruvim. First we have what he's going to tell him, and now he tells him. Kach eish, before it was gacholim. Kach eish, hot fire, mi beinois la galgal mi beinois la kruvim. Vayavoy vayamoy deitzoleifen, and the ish levush habadim is standing there, soldier malach ready to take a command. Vayishlach hakruvis yadoi, and the kruv, not the ish levush habadim, the kruv, the kruvim itself. The Kruvim in the Mishkan, in the Mikdash, they represented the Jewish people. That's why when they faced each other, it means that we loved each other. When they looked away from each other, it means we were not Ishimachim. So there's a Kruvim in Shemayim. So not the Ish Levush Habadim stuck his hand into the fire. There was fire there. Stuck his hand into the fire and take out the coal. But the Kruv moves in Shemayim. And Vayishlach hakruv es yadai mi beinois lakruvim, exactly where Hashem said to put your hand. El ha'esh asher beinois hakruvim, into this fire. Vayisa vayitein el chafnei levush habadim. He pulls out the coals from where they are, and he puts it into the hand of the levush habadim, who's meant to do what? Throw it on Yerushalayim. Vayikach, the ish levush habadim, takes it. Vayetze, and he goes out. Vayera lakruvim, and here's the big pasuk. Vayera lakruvim tavnis yad adam tachas knafeim. There was a revelation, a gilui, of the hand of the kruvim. Who knows what this could possibly mean? But all we know is this is what Yechezkel saw. And he's telling it to us, that when the kruv was revealed his hand, on the hand of the kruv, there was a tavnis yad adam. There was an engraving of some sort of yad adam. Kruv is not an adam, but the kruvim represent adam, and the kruvim represent adam. So apparently, it doesn't look like an adam in Shemayim, or his hand is. But there was a tavnis yad adam. A tavnis yad adam tachas kanfeim. And he goes on. Chazal tell us that what's the tavnis yad adam. That the Kruvim said, here's the coals, here's the ammunition, ready to go. We're in the ammunition room, we're ready to go, ready to destroy. But here's the Yad Adam. There's also a Yad Adam. There's also Chesed here, right? The sisterhood baked cookies. There's some one side. So the Levush Habadim, which is Gavriel, take into consideration that there's also a Yad Adam here. That's the story of the Chorban.
Why did he leave?
There was a Chorban. there was a Chorban, but the Chorban destroyed, and because of this Yad HaAdam, just want to get you to the end of the story here, there was a Chorban, but the Chorban destroyed the Beis HaMikdash. It did not destroy Klal Yisrael. The plan was not to destroy the Beis HaMikdash. The plan was to destroy Klal Yisrael. And instead, and this should give us like the omek of what Chazal mean, that instead the wrath came on the Eitzim Va'avonim.
Why is Yad Adam Chesed?
Because why is Yad Adam is Chesed? Because Yad Adam is Chesed, but let's understand it deeper, which is what you're asking, and that is that the Yadayim, logically and Kabbalistically represent the world of Maisa. You do with your hands, Maisa Yadai.
It's also a Gematria of 14, which is David.
Let's keep that in mind too. But it's the Maisa. So in the at the end of the day, the reason why Hakadosh at the end of the day here, the reason why Hakadosh Baruch Hu created man and the world of man is that there could be Maisa. It's all about those Yadayim. So so that's why we say, all right, well, Lamaisa. Lamaisa, like what are we going to do? If the Maisa is good, that means that there's some kind of a malchus of Hashem going on in this world. Something's good. So there's something good happening here. So we can't it's a saving point. So I don't know how to answer your question, whether it was too late or too early. I mean, it was a process. Chazal say that if not for the fact that Gavriel, like all of this, while all of this was going, Gavriel was doing a trick, and he was letting the coals cool off. He was mitzanenes hagacholim. So say Chazal. Let me just.
The Kruvim took fire. The Kruvim took fire.
Took fire, right. Right, so we have to make all that work. At the end of Yoma, which everybody probably just learned, right? At the end of Yoma, the Gemara says, Omer Reb Shimon Chasida, it's on Ein Zayin Amud Aleph. Talk about this story. If the coals would not have gotten cooled off from the hands of Michael, which apparently was the Kruvim are called Michael, that's another limud, to the hands of Gavriel, Sanem Shal Yisrael is a Lashon Saginar, there would not be left a Jew in the world, sorry to public. The Xera was very, very big at that time. Uksiv, and it says, V'hinei ha'ish levush habadim asher ha'keses b'mosnav, meishiv davar lamer, the psukim we just learned, asisi kechol asher tzivisani. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, there's a little more inside information here. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, ba'oisesha apkuha legavriel me'achorei ha'pargut, u'machyua shesin pulsa denura. In other words, Gavriel, Chazal tell us, I guess this is the Yugim in the Psukim, in the Nevuah of Yecheskel, that Gavriel was hesitant. This Levush HaBadim. See, I think, by the way, the Kohen Gadol is dressed as a Levush HaBadim not because he's din. The Pshat in Gavriel is that Gavriel is the one that connects the world in the Shemayim. Is that like Gvuras Geshamim? Gvuras Geshamim. You say Ata Gibor. So Gavriel is Gvura. Geshem is that which connects the Shemayim and the Aretz. When we say Mashiv Ruach Amerda Geshem, we say it in Gvuras because it's connecting the Shemayim and the Aretz. Tchias HaMesim is connecting. You're giving a heavenly quality to the Aretz quality. The Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippur is the Levush Habadim like Gavriel's Levush Abanim. Gavriel's not a bad guy. The Kohen's not a bad guy. But the thing is that he's the connector between. So his job is to connect. If you're connecting and everybody's bad, so then it's bad. If he's bad, it's bad. If everybody's good, it's good. It's not. All Gevura means doesn't mean bad. All Gevura means is that it's okay. It's coming to din.
Restrained.
Yeah, restrained in the terms of boundary, but it's to din. It's like I'll give you an example of this. Like Shkifa Pnei Stom. It says Hashem looked up Pnei Stom. Rashi says Ein Hashkifa Elaloshin Peronias. Kadosh Baruch Hu is a kind of a look, like a mashkefet is a microscope, right? Like Hashem is a kind of a look, hashkifa pnei stom pachad, right? But then by Bikurim, what does it say? Hashkifa mimoin kochecha min hashamayim, and I'm going to give you blessings. So that's what Rashi said it was lashon peronius. So what's this hashkifa? What's the hashkafa of hashkifa? So the teretz is that when you look closely, you don't know what you're going to find. You look closely, you say, oh, that's beautiful. And you look closely and say, oh. So what it is it's a close look. So Gavriel represents the close look, the liaison between Shemayim and Va'aretz. So Gavriel, the same Gavriel that's meant to, this is your job, Gavriel, you're meant to destroy, he's also looking and saying, well, I want to save. I want to save. So Chazal say, if you're Medayik in the Psukim, he let the coals cool down. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, so Rabbi Yochanan said, the pargud is that separating place between the Shemayim and the Yaretz. That's the pargud. It's very low. Yachasi. And he pulls Gavriel behind the curtain of the pargud. Shishin pulls to the Nura, and he gives him makas with fiery whips.
Kadosh Baruch Hu gives Gabriel.
Yeah, well, I told you to destroy. What do you drain a cup over here? What do you it's procrastinate. If you didn't do anything, you didn't do anything. Okay. If you don't want to listen to me, don't listen to me. But Iyavadata was very interesting. If you don't want to listen to me, don't listen to me. That's like an interesting choice. But if you're going to listen to me, do what I said. What are you draining around over here? Just say no. Just say no. So that was the void, and furthermore, Iyavadata kad pakduch. If you did do what I asked you to do, lo yibal l'chol ha'adurei. So what are you waiting for? Anyways, at that time, so it's a very amazing Gemara. Asyan l'dubiel sar de parsai. Gavriel is replaced. You're in jail. Gavriel is replaced. You're off duty. You're on what's it called? You're suspended from your post. You're out, right? And he's replaced by Dubiel. Who's Dubiel? Dove, like bear. Sara de Parsoi by the Persians. The Persians are all of a sudden in charge. Occupation, Persian occupation of the Kisei HaKavod taking place over here. Look at history. Amazing. And went into the place of Gavriel, Vishimesh, and he had that post for Esrim ve'echad yom, for 21 days. Hainu Dechsiv, it says Daniel repeated this whole story. We should learn about that maybe next Wednesday. V'sar Malchus Paras oimed lenegdi Esrim ve'echad yom. And for 21 days, the head of Persia, the Malach of Persia, is talking to me, Hashem says. This is what Daniel saw in his prophecy. 21 days he had the like a filibuster. he's talking 21 days. He's talking. What's he talking about? He's talking about destroy the Jews, destroy Yerushalayim, get rid of them. 21 days I'm listening to this filibuster. Hine Michal echad asar marishonim bala azreini, v'anino sarti shametzel malchei paras. Anyways, after 21 days, Gavriel was allowed back into the showroom, onto the floor, and he was able to get the mic from Persia and started to talk again for Klal Yisrael. So look, I don't, beyond human comprehension, as Archgirl says. So what am I reading for? Because that's beyond my comprehension too. But it's just like it's amazing what's going on when we think nothing's going on. Like this, there was no Charbon here. This was 5 years before. You know, there was no Charbon here. There was no, you know, we were walking around pretty smug at this point.
Is
You
this
know,
part of Avram's transition also to the Ish Chesed Yisod with Brisbane of Asar?
I believe so.
Wow,
I
we
believe
got to
so.
move into some Chesed mode here.
Again, like I said yesterday, the Pshat moving into Chesed mode is Yadayim, the Yad. It's exactly the same thing. If everything, if all of this translates into Chesed, so then yesh siba, you know, yesh tachlis. There's a reason for everything. If it doesn't translate into Chesed, that's the whole, like, if it all stays in the Bechina of Emes, this is what I was trying to say yesterday, if I was clear. If everything stays in the Bechina of Emes, it's Lamala. And it doesn't, it's good thing. Like if we're B'Kubalim and we know what's going on in Lamala, good thing. But it doesn't justify the world. How does that justify the world? How does that masakin the world? What does that help the world? Okay, you're a big philosopher, we'll bring you up here with the Malach, and you too can become a Malach. Whatever, you want to be a Malach? Malach. But what Avram Avinu was doing was he was saying, no, yesh tikva lo'olam, yesh tikkun lo'olam. There's a reason that ish chesed haya. Ish chesed haya means he brought it back. He brought it down to earth. That's what chesed. You look at the spheres. You have the keser of the chachma gvura, right? Chachma bina das, if you want. However you want to look at the keser, but only after the keser, when it's something that we're relating to, comes chesed, gvura, tiferes, netzach, Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov. So that comes in a later stage. Kasule at the end. Let me just read this enough on a positive note. Kisfuli Rabbanon bechroga kasule beidna debayim michtem le. Amar Gavriel me'achari apargud amar shvalachem ashkime kulam me'achri sheva zoichelechem atzavim kehitain liyadidai sheina. Gavriel, this same Gavriel, begged for mercy and said, give them a good, let them keep on going and let them have a future. Amar Rabbi Yitzchak Elon Neshoisem Shel Talmidei Chachamim, that in the schus of the wives of Talmidei Chachamim, Menadadoi Sheina Meineim Ba'olam Hazeh Zeiches L'chai Olam Haba Layashkacha Bei. They didn't listen to the Persians. Like this could was somehow the Noshim Tzidkaniyos.
Sister did it.
The sisterhood's cookies. You got it. The sisterhood did it. Very good.
Doesn't sound like Gabrielle, though. It's supposed to be dim.
Oh, that's okay. So we'll try to continue if we'd like more practically.